I think it's up in the air which year people consider worse, 2016 or 2018. Both years experienced numerous atrocities, from school shootings to climate change destroying us, several prominent celebrities gone too soon, like Avicii and Mac Miller, and Donald Trump exists.
There were, however, some bright spots. The U.S. House flipped blue in the midterm elections, independent and art house movies were more prominent in the mainstream, as well as animation having another really good year, much like its 2016 counterpart. The video game industry had arguably its best year since like 2011, and, much like 2016, the rest of the world seemed to be going to hell in a flowery handbasket. Wrestling in 2018 has been going from strength to strength.
Now, onto the categories, and onto which the results of which you'll never see coming, just like the Smash DLC announcements.
Ooh! Greetings, everyone. I'm the voice of reason, and with my co-hosts Kanako and Nikki V, we're here to give our final send-off to 2018 in hopes for a brighter new year. So,
Crash for Smash 2019.
I'm still putting my hopes out for Chrono.
I've got two
From
words
Chrono
for
Trigger?
From Chrono Trigger, yeah.
Oh,
Mickey Mouse.
Ooh.
Shut up.
But anyway,
It'd be really cool.
Okay, and so just for those at home, we have a lot of categories here. So we're going to end up splitting this into two parts, because holy crap, there was a lot to talk about in 2018. So I think we should start it off with like we did last year, or sorry, 2 years ago. Last year we didn't do it. Talking about characters and talking about the gimmicks. So who wants to talk about best gimmicks?
I want to talk about best gimmicks.
Okay, you talk about best gimmicks.
Okay, so in the last year, there's been a real, it seems like characters have really started to become WWE's focus. Like, the wrestling has been good, but there have been a lot of there have been a lot of wrestlers that didn't quite have their foothold, that have found their calling, that have found what works for them, basically. And here are just a few of those. Your nominees for Best Gimmick of the Year are Rusev with Every Day is Rusev Day.
Speaking of which, US Champion Rusev!
You son of a bitch.
Rusev Day. Rusev Day.
Continuing.
Day.
You spoiled it, you son of a bitch!
Oh, who doesn't already know about that? It's been all over the internet.
Besides, it's coming out afterwards.
Well, I'm sorry.
Kairi Sane as the Pirate Princess. Velveteen Dream, dripping with finesse. And we only said that one because Q tried coming up with a description of Velveteen Dream. Leo Rush, Hype Man. Adam Page, Destroyer of Joeys. Paige, SmackDown GM. And Flip Gordon, Flip is all in. And your winner of Best Gimmick of the Year is Becky Lynch, the man.
Irish War Paint. Irish War Paint.
Fuck Nia Jax.
Not even Nia Jax could derail Becky Lynch, despite her best efforts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, imagine at the start of 2018 saying that Becky Lynch was going to be the biggest thing in all of wrestling by the end of the year. Don't try to convince me otherwise.
It's weird because in 2017 she was kind of there but not really ascending the ranks. Her heel turn and her rise in the ranks, while everything else, all the bullshit that was going on with like Charlotte, Asuka, Carmella, and whoever Carmella ended up facing, like silently in the background, and say, "Oh yeah, Becky's still there," and then we started, "Oh, Becky's actually doing really good. Like, yeah, maybe we should put something on her." And then SummerSlam turned heel, and we saw probably one of the best characters emerge. Basically, the female Stone Cold. And if not for the Luthez press at TLC, I would not have made that comparison.
Well, here's the thing about the heel turn. Nobody wanted that because we liked her so much. We genuinely like her because, like, all the things she's been saying, we're like, yeah, you haven't been given fair shots. Yeah, Charlotte has been handed a bunch of title shots.
Yeah, but the thing with heel turns nowadays is, like, it's... If you want to actually turn heel, you gotta do stuff that the crowd doesn't like. You can't just attack baby faces or whatever, because a lot of times baby faces are boring as piss. So, like, her attacking Charlotte at SummerSlam was just her doing a cool thing for a lot of people. That wasn't, like, it wasn't a very effective heel turn. It was just good character work.
Well, and one of the best...
when they actually tried to go heel with her, everybody was just like, "Fuck you."
Well, here's the thing about that, and I'll probably explain that a little later when we get to story. By the way, spoilers. They didn't do the traditional heel stuff where Becky like turned on the fans, don't cheer for.
No, they tried to.
They did it 1 week,
and the fans knew.
Becky was like, "Did you really were you really on my side? Really?" And then everybody was just like,
we were.
"Yes, yeah, we were." Like, because never forget, they really wanted Charlotte to be heel or face. They really wanted Charlotte to be face. Didn't work.
Which I don't get. She's a Flair. The Flairs are like notorious bad guys.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, Becky Lynch, the man, best gimmick of 2018. Okay, so Shoddy not talking about worse gimmicks.
Fine. I'm going to be rough or quick when it comes to this because worst gimmick of the year it's not fun. It brings up bad memories. So, worst gimmicks of 2018 runner-ups are Constable Corbin and his whole GM thing. Oh, look. When WWE does a bad GM, it's on our worst gimmick list. And when they do a good GM, it's on our best gimmick.
And they both get fired.
Ironic.
They both get fired. Yes. Next, Drake Maverick, manager of AOPP.
Man, there's no going back for them.
Yep. Chad Gable, the excitable fanboy of Bobby Roode. Shinsuke Nakamura, grumble, puncher of dicks. And your winners.
Yes, we have... This is the first time in Haymakers history where we actually have multiple winners. So, Kanako, your pick for worst gimmick.
Now, speaking of annoyingly boring baby faces, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley. Generic nice guy, and now he's going for dual crown this year. The Buttman.
Oh boy.
The Buttman.
Now, I want to point out something. Voice didn't understand what we meant by Buttman.
Yeah, because I was taking a break from Raw for a good while. Then I turned on Raw. I was like, oh, now I know what you mean by Buttman.
Yeah, he's spreading them.
Now, see, his whole bodybuilder gimmick, that'd be good if you pick a decent pose. Like, if you pick a decent pose, and he doesn't say anything, which most of the time he doesn't, but sometimes, yeah.
Oh, boy.
But now, Voice and I, we disagreed, and I stand by this one. By the way, this is not the only time we're going to be disagreeing. Like, a lot of these are, yeah.
Now, there's a reason why I put the Bobby Lashley ahead of their winner, and one of them is Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay.
Yes,
Not great.
that segment is part of the reason why I put Bobby Lashley over
James Ellsworth. Incel.
Okay. WWE, it's 2018. You know what's going on in the world. Cut it out.
It is the goddamn current year.
me too.
Like most things about James Ellsworth are fucking gross, especially the stuff that happened after he got released, which we won't be talking about here. Thank you very much. But like the stuff that they did with Carmella and James Ellsworth, it was okay at first, and then he started getting all like,
then he tried to hit on Paige.
yeah, that was gross, but standard procedure for Ellsworth. But then he got all incel-y, which for those who, and I'm not going to explain it. Look it up. It's the internet.
Incel is it's short for involuntary celibate.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of the leading reasons why there's a lot of domestic violence against women. It's a term that used by a lot of men's rights activists. I'm cut off from society because you don't want my dick. So, hence involuntary celibacy.
Basically, the people who are pissed off at women for not putting out.
Yep.
And they tried to make that a character in WWE.
Fuck no.
This is the kind of thing that makes you realize that WWE will never get better until they get rid of virtually everyone running the shit.
Fire all the writers, fire Vince McMahon, put Triple H in charge.
And a few other people too, but yeah. That's
But yeah, those are our picks for the worst gimmick of 2018. Now, in 2016, I know the SmackDown guys didn't do this, but we on the Raw side, Kanako, myself, and Punk Gamer when he was on, we introduced a new category called Biggest Fall from Grace. In this, it's talking about going from one year to the next, or starting off of the year and just falling flat in the face of just a giant disimprovement of character or wrestling style or whatever.
Disimprovement.
Do
you want to give that one more try?
Basically what I'm trying to say is basically a giant drop in quality or character or placement on the card.
Or being used at all.
Exactly. These are... in 2016, it was Ryback. 2017 probably would have been Bailey. But these are the honorable mentions for biggest fall from grace. Cesaro and Sheamus. The Revival. Kevin Owens. Sasha Banks. Sami Zayn. And your winners for biggest fall from grace goes to Big Cass and Enzo Amore.
Yeah, we all agreed on this one, but they were so connected at the hip, and they've both just completely fallen to shit.
See, if we were doing this, if we did these two separately, I would have put Enzo ahead of Big Cass.
Probably.
Yes, but it would have been a close, 1-2.
Yeah. And because it was such a close 1-2, and again, because they're so connected, they're winners. You are winner.
Now, I want to say one real quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Big Cass recovers from the seizure he had. Those things suck.
Oh, yeah.
I've had family members suffer from them, and great friends as well. Hope you get better soon. And hopefully, because honestly, Big Cass, not the best person, but not as bad as Enzo, because Enzo has done some stupid shit. For instance,
2 words. Consensual penis.
Oh God, no, God.
No, that's not. Honestly, that's not even the worst thing.
No, but it's a good start.
And the worst thing, in my opinion, as a professional wrestler, what he did at SummerSlam.
No, Survivor Series.
So, yeah, Survivor Series. That's what I meant. It's the SS part of it. SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, trying to sneak in.
No, he did sneak in, and it's more what he did once he was in, because like there's one rule as a wrestling fan: if you're at ringside, if you're a wrestler and such, just watch the fucking show. Don't try and get yourself over. That shows a lot about the fact that Enzo Amore isn't actually doing that well. The fact that he has to do stuff like that. If he was doing well with his rap career, he wouldn't need to.
Yeah. Also, fun little bit of trivia: the person or the security person that fucking laid him out was the same one that tried to hold back Rob Gronkowski a couple of WrestleManias ago.
She is the best security guard, like promoter.
Dude, when Samoa Joe told William Regal to get better security, they delivered.
Send her to the performance center. Get her trained up.
Dude, she's got backstory.
Have her finisher be the spear.
Did.
Hell yeah.
Dude. All right, so
we've turned a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
Yes, kind of like what we're doing with this next category.
Yeah, I'll do this one. So, WWE has signed goddamn everybody, haven't they?
Kinda.
So,
not everyone.
Seems like it, but because of that, the Performance Center has never been busier. People have been also busier on the house show circuit than ever before. That's probably not great, but yeah. But because of that, a lot of wrestlers have gotten way better in the ring, or at least or if nothing else, have had a bigger spotlight shown on them, and they've come through in spades. So here are our runner-ups for most improved wrestler: Elias, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, Lars Sullivan, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, Paige, and Leo Rush. And your winner of Most Improved Wrestler of 2018, Buddy Murphy.
Ozzy. Oi.
Yeah, I know you're happy about that one. So, coming into 2018, Buddy Murphy wasn't doing dick diddly. Like, he wasn't on NXT TV. There was no indication that he was about to get called up anywhere. He was just existing, but like we didn't know. I honestly thought at one point he'd been released. But he popped up at the start of 2018 in the Cruiserweight tournament that was supposed to decide the next Cruiserweight champion at WrestleMania. And he shockingly made it all the way to the semifinals, where I believe he lost to Mustafa Ali, but damn, did he put in a good showing in the process. And
I thought he had to, like, he didn't lose, but he had to forfeit the tournament due to weight restrictions.
I will have to check that out, but I want to say that I'll look it up later.
I vaguely remember that being a part of the story, his early storylines with 205 Live. The fact that he was 2010, not 210, 210.
2010.
He was
weighed
2010
over
pounds?
a ton.
Yes, he weighed over a ton. Only in his mind.
Okay, so he actually got knocked out in the quarterfinals, but he still looked really good in the process. But again, to Mustafa Ali. And I think in the weeks after that, they were talking about how he was having trouble staying under the 205 limit, which was their way of establishing him as a monster heel. I think that worked out okay because Buddy Murphy has been consistently doing some of the best cruiserweight work that's been on 205 Live. Like, there's a higher tier of the cruiserweights. It's basically Cedric, Mustafa, and Buddy. Those three. Like, they are the best of the best. And fourth place is way far down.
Well, what, like Tony Nese or Kendrick or somebody?
Gulak, maybe. But yeah. Like, there's a drop-off there. And Buddy has gone from basically... Because it, like, even back when he was in NXT with Wesley Blake, and they were the NXT Tag Champs, like, he was just okay. Like, now he's pulling out 4-star matches on 205 on the reg. Like, I know that a lot of people don't watch 205, but...
Guilty.
Like,
Guilty.
Yeah. But he is a reason to watch. Like, he's definitely come a long way since the start of 2018.
Especially since Mustafa Ali is now on SmackDown.
Yay! So, I think that we've covered everything there.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead, Kanaka.
Yeah. The next category is Best Story. Now, straight on to the runner-ups. Roderick Strong's heel turn and has him join the undisputed Johnny Gargano overcomes the odds and wins back his job. The B Team's winning streak leads to Raw Tag Team Gold. The Miz and Daniel Bryan continue their 8-year rivalry. Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler's rivalry continues from last year's Mae Young Classic. And the winners... I'm going to let Nikki go first here. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles feud gets uncomfortably personal.
Yes, Samoa Joe is the goddamn best at this kind of thing. He is such a detestable, dastardly son of a bitch heel. And, like, his stuff with AJ Styles this year was great. And seeing as how they didn't have AJ break the record for longest WWE title reign, since he lost it after just over a year, he should have won the fucking title from AJ. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't have. But the stuff that he did with AJ, like going to his house, like talking to his kids through the camera, telling him dad is home. Like, that stuff was just so goddamn good. But yeah, it's maybe not the best, but it's the stuff that I found to be most enjoyable.
Okay, I could do mine. Okay, my pick for best story of 2018, Becky Lynch's heel turn, heel being in quotations, puts her back in the SmackDown women's spotlight. Perfect fucking storytelling. This entire thing. As I mentioned earlier during the during the best gimmick, the whole thing of Becky racking up wins while all the bullshit that was going on in the foreground was starting to gain notice. So, what happens at SummerSlam? She gets a title shot, but then, again, Charlotte steals the spotlight. That should be hers. What happens? Sort of turns heel. Hey, I'm being relegated to the background again because you're a Flair, essentially. So I deserve what is mine. Fast forward to the next pay-per-view, which I believe was... Crap, what was after SummerSlam this year?
Hell in a Cell?
Hey, yes, Hell in a Cell. Becky manages to win. Becky manages basically winning clean just by via, I think, a small package, and now all of a sudden she starts dominating, and then she starts building up this character. I love who I am right now. Like on the SmackDown 1000 Cutting Edge promo. I love myself right now. This is who I am. I want to continue what I'm doing right now. This goes all the way up to TLC. The whole thing about Becky Lynch winning and just asserting dominance was the best storyline because it was methodically placed and we didn't even realize it was going on. That is why I feel this is the best storyline for 2018. But Kanako, I think you might have the pick in terms of the indie scene.
That everyone will agree with me. Kenny Omega's feud with Kazuchika Okada, leading up to his final, rise to the top of the New Japan pile at Dominion. What can I say? It's Kenny Omega versus Okada. We had 4 amazing matches this year. 4! Possibly the best match of all time when it comes to wrestling. I can't, far better people have said why these two have put on the best feud of the year. Far better than I can. And here's the thing. It may not be over. We don't know when this feud will end, because this might just be like one chapter in their feud. That's how the indie scene in New Japan work. It may this scene may be over, but we can always pull from it later. Just like with the Becky Lynch and Charlotte thing. Just like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. All these stories have one thing in common. Two people who have great ring chemistry, putting on great matches, and telling great stories.
All right. Okay, next category. We sort of introduced this last year, both in 2016 we both introduced this. Worst payoff. Great build, crappy execution. Crappy finish, basically. Here are the honorable mentions for worst payoff. The Greatest Royal Rumble is nothing more than a glorified house show. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura feud ends not with a bang, but a kick to the crotch. Alexa Bliss wins the Money in the Bank briefcase and cashes in on Nia Jax the same night, keeping her in the title picture for a combined 21 months. The main event of Hell in a Cell ends in a no contest.
It was a Hell in a Cell match.
Yes, a Hell in a Cell match ends in a no contest.
Refereed by Mick fucking Foley.
Yeah.
It was too crazy for Mick Foley.
And Raw clean sweep SmackDown at Survivor Series.
Which now means Jack's shit.
6-1. And we have winners again. I'm actually the lone one in this one, so I'll do mine first. My personal pick for the worst payoff of 2018, Raw's 25th anniversary and SmackDown 1000 are all hype, zero delivery. Now, who forgot that Raw 25 and SmackDown 1000 were a thing this year?
I didn't, because I did not, because of 2 reasons. One, I've been bitching and complaining about SmackDown and Raw for the past, I don't know how long, about it being a small set of guys getting put over and over and over again. I'm looking at you, Randy.
It's kind of your gimmick.
But yeah.
Well, it's true. I'm not wrong.
But anyway, looking again, Raw 20. This is a big moment. Raw's 25th anniversary going live in the 25th year going live. It's not actually the 25th anniversary. The actual 25th anniversary would be next year. Again, why does WWE up with the number 25? They don't get it.
They did the same thing with WrestleMania 25.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Well,
Semantics rage.
Here's the thing. Most people go, oh, it's the 25th one. Thus it must be the 25th anniversary.
No! But anyway, they went all out for this. They not only did they have it at the Barclays Center, but they also had a separate venue. They actually rented out the Manhattan Center where they started everything out. Like, and
I feel sorry for those Manhattan Center people.
oh my god, the Manhattan Center was barely used! With only, like, a couple of segments. I think, they had one match with, like, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. They had The Undertaker come out for a promo, which was probably one of his worst promos in years. And then also, and DX come out and beat the Revival. That's all I remember from it.
With the help of the club.
Oh, yeah.
And fuck, what are they? And the New World Order.
Well,
basically, it was the Click and
it's Click 1 and 1.0 and 2.0 essentially.
Yeah,
that was barely used. And looking at it again, I don't. The only thing that was memorable from Raw 25 was the first hour, which was again Shane, Vince, and Stephanie coming out for congratulations, and then Stone Cold stunnering everybody, and then the Intercontinental Championship match with the Miz winning.
You know what I would have done? Because it's Raw 25. Who cares about filling a massive stadium? Just put it all in either the Manhattan Center or the Hammerstein Ballroom, and just go all out in the silliness. Like, have the start of the show, that first hour, and then the other just fun, silliness, like, maybe have a few callbacks to, like, past Raw segments, but in the modern day, like, a good one that I would love, which is more of a SmackDown thing, the whole, like, what is it, APA, like, do that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that would be okay. That would be okay, seeing as how SmackDown 1000 had Evolution, despite the fact that Evolution was solely a Raw thing.
What the hell? I mean,
know! Why didn't you have them at Raw 25? That would make so much more sense.
Probably scheduling conflicts with Batista, if I had to take a guess.
Probably.
Fair point,
He's
but
a
it is
very
like
busy man.
Okay, it
is one night.
Yeah, even so, looking at this again, Raw 25th and SmackDown 1000, I don't, like, outside of a couple of one or two things, these were not memorable shows. In fact, like, in their respectable weeks, these were the worst shows compared to their counterparts. Raw 25 was blown out by SmackDown going into the Royal Rumble, and SmackDown 1000, like, I think was actually one of the worst shows on SmackDown sides, with the exception of the Becky Lynch Cutting Edge promo.
Right. Like the best thing about SmackDown 1000 was Batista talking about Ric Flair's dick.
And
like that, and the APA segment.
Honestly, I thought that went on a little too longer than it should have been. But that was the thing for the APA segments. They always went on a little bit too long. That being said, look at Raw 1000. So much crap happened. DX came back. Miz won the Intercontinental Championship again. You had the Daniel Bryan AJ Lee wedding. You had CM Punk turning heel on The Rock in the main event, where John Cena cashed in, turned in his Money in the Bank contract for a main event. Like, It was so memorable. It was so good compared to this. Like, this was. You had.
We can one up it though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we can.
Oh jeez. Yeah. I'll let the two indie people talk about this, because holy crap. What was your?
So, me and Nikki both agreed on this, which is very rare. I want to point out that me and Nikki agree on something, and it either has to be we all agree on something, or I disagree with Nikki. So the fact that me and him have agreed on this is scary.
Yeah, because Kanako's a big dirty contrarian.
We picked Austin Aries no-selling Starship Pain after a free count at Bound for Glory.
So let me put you in. Let me set the scene for you. We have the main event of Bound for Glory, which I think is TNA's WrestleMania. The main event, or SummerSlam.
Slammiversary is theirs, but this is basically their.
Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania.
Slammiversary.
Slammiversary is the anniversary of the whole company.
So, oh, okay.
Okay. So either way, big goddamn deal. Austin Aries versus Johnny Impact / Morrison / Mundo / Nitro / Survivor / all that good shit.
/ Hannigan, which is his actual last name.
Oh, right. Okay. So Aries is down. John hits the Starship Pain, that fucking killer ass split leg moonsault. He gets the 1, he gets the 2, he gets the 3. Before he even fucking stands up, Austin Aries is on his feet. He is out of the ring. He flips the double bird to the head guys at TNA. I think it was Don Callis.
Don Callis and someone else.
Okay.
But Don Callis is the head booker, so...
Right. And then he pieces the fuck out. This is probably Johnny Mundo's biggest win of his career. Okay? He just won the Impact World title, which, say what you will about Impact, it's still like the second or third biggest promotion in North America. Okay? So, it's a big goddamn deal that he just won their world title, and Austin Aries has to make this all about him. He stands up and completely brave in the worst kind of.
So there's two kinds of kayfabe. There's the kind you can break to a certain extent, kind of like what happens on Being the Elite to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. That stuff is fine because it's fun and silly, and we kind of understand that even though these guys fight and are rivals, they're not really. Mm-hmm. But maintain the realism of you just went to war with someone and lost. Yeah. What he did is like, let me put it to you this way. If I did that at my local indie, at the federation I work for, I would be kicked out so fast, my head would start spinning.
Oh, let me... Right. Okay, well...
I would never get booked there again.
Yeah, actually, you know what this reminds me of, sort of, but not exactly? Hulk Hogan, like, just kicking it out after, Ultimate Warrior pinned him at WrestleMania 6. Almost. But the only reason I say otherwise is because Hogan has, at that time, had at least a little bit of respect for Warrior.
Yeah, and also, that was pretty much the plan. It's like... Yeah, Hogan kicked out at like 3.1, but like he's Hogan. Number one, him doing in-ring politics is kind of his gimmick, but also like it was his way of saving face, which is fine. It's fine. This is not fine.
Also, there's a difference between a kick out and okay, the match is over. I'm standing up and I'm fucking off.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, after it was over, there was all of the, like, everybody kept saying, no, this is totally part of the plan. This is totally going to lead somewhere. That was the last time we ever saw Austin Aries in Impact Wrestling. Matter of fact, I haven't heard anything from Austin Aries since then. Mm-hmm. I think this pretty much blacklisted him.
Oh, geez, he's on the same list as Sexy Star now.
Oh, no.
Different list, because Sexy Star is an unsafe worker. Austin Aries is just a cunt.
He is what everybody has always said about him. He thinks way too highly about himself, despite the fact that he's never fucking drawn.
He's drawn a little bit, but not to the extent that he...
Not to the extent that he thinks he draws.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I could see your reasoning for that. Okay, but now, so now we have crappy endings to crappy all around. Nikki, go ahead.
Let's talk about some shit! Like, WWE has had maybe their worst year in terms of ratings and in terms of, like, creativity of their stories since, at the very minimum, the mid-90s. Maybe ever. Like, it's just so wretched. And so many missteps have happened this year. And we couldn't even agree on what was the worst one. All three of us have a different one, so we'll try to be quick about it. But here are are honorable mentions for worst story. The ending of Asuka's winning streak. Bayley and Sasha Banks go to counseling. The Authors of Pain and Titus Worldwide fight nonstop. Baron Corbin and Finn Balor fight for eternity. Braun Strowman turns heel. And then he doesn't. And Shane McMahon wins the Crown Jewel World Cup to determine the best in the world. And your winners, well, I'll go first. Roman Reigns' feud with Brock. Now, I feel like nowadays we kind of have to put a caveat on anything negative involving Roman Reigns. But I'm not going to here because this was the total shits. And it was the shits as we were watching it. And it was the shits to this day. And it fucking sucked. And fun fact, WWE put out their own end of the year list thing. You want to know what their best feud of the year was? The one that they're most proud of?
No.
This one.
Reigns Lesnar.
Bullshit!
I am not fucking joking. Look it up. That was their feud of the year.
There is a reason I do not trust their lists anymore.
Yeah, sure. Some of them are just trying for attention, like that time when they said that the Bellas turning on Ronda Rousey was one of the top 5 biggest heel turns or betrayals in WWE history. That's one thing. This is just so fucking stupid. Like, okay, so you have the match at WrestleMania, which is like just infinite finishers, the main event. And that was shit. And then they had a cage match at the Greatest Royal Rumble, which Roman technically was out of the cage first, but they fucked up the finish to that, so it was still Brock's. And then he finally won the title at SummerSlam in another terrible match. And then, it is just never ending. The same goddamn match over and over and over. Kill me now. Boys?
Oh, well, jeez. How do I put this? Yeah, this is the worst view of the year. Sami Zayn tries to prove Bobby Lashley is a big fat phony. Oh my god, this was the worst month of Raw.
He's a big fat phony.
Oh my god, this was bad. Okay, so here's what happened. Sami Zayn was not allowed to go to, unable to go to Greatest Royal Rumble because he's of Syrian heritage. So they wrote him out. So in a clever, I put clever in quotations, clever way of writing him out, saying, "Oh, Bobby Lashley hurt him really bad." So
gave him vertigo.
Yeah, gave him vertigo. Yeah, I don't believe that. So what ends up happening is,
really?
Basically it's a way to basically prop up Bobby Lashley, of how great a guy this guy is and how he can basically dominate everyone. So WWE's interpretation of this is to try and disprove all of that by having Sami Zayn. Okay, I just want to point out the first thing that they try to do. I almost went to this show. It the Times Union Center is literally a block from my house, from my apartment. I almost went to this show. I was like, do I want to go to the Raw at? It's right down the road. I have off the next day. Like, what the heck? I could probably go. It's like, I know what probably the best idea is I don't want to waste my money. I'll just watch my tea. That was the smartest decision I ever made. Because I would have dodged Bobby Lashley's sisters. There
is a reason why I put Bobby Lashley as the worst gimmick this year. This is part of the reason. Fuck.
Oh my god! This makes the old day look like the New Day time machine. That was probably one of the most offensive gimmicks of the offensive things of the year. I mean, I'm not gay. I'm not transgender. I'm not part of the drag community. Hi, Kanako. I'm not any of that, and I still felt dirty watching it. It was one of the few times I actually turned off Raw. And then the following weeks, then Sami Zayn set up an obstacle course. Oh, he probably couldn't do that. He ends up doing it, and then he calls into his question his military status.
So I want to point out something. I watch Raw every week. I watch SmackDown every week. That was the first time in months that I had went, fuck this, and turned off. Like, I closed the web page down, I opened up Twitch, and I just watched, like, there was a fighting game tournament on, and I just watched that because it was more entertaining.
But the only caveat I will give Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley's feud, it was mercifully short, but it felt long.
The reason it was short was because Sami got hurt.
Well, he was hurt. Well, he was hurting beforehand.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
Yeah.
And had to leave.
Yeah.
So basically, what Kanako is saying is, if he was 100% healthy, this might have gone on for another.
Oh, jeez, you're right. Yeah, this could have gone longer. Yeah, Kanako, go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All I have to say is Big Show fucking heel turn.
At this point, it's just funny. Like,
it's not funny. It's stupid. It's the heel turn.
Like, you can do a good drinking game with it.
The heel and face turn is a sacred, time-honored tradition to make things interesting and to change up storylines. And Big Show doesn't, like, I don't know how many times it is now. Oh, but the thing is, his heel turn goes in tandem with the height of bad Sheamus and Cesaro.
I think what culture clocked in, it's close to like between 27 and 29, I think, of heel face turns.
That's why I wrote in the thing, like, 29th time. It could be 30. I do not know.
Yeah, because ever since we wrote this list, he turned back to being face when he KO punched Cesaro.
I know, it's so stupid. Now...
This is why I find it hilarious, because otherwise I'd be crying.
Now, let's move on to the biggest news story of the year.
Yeah.
Starting with
we should probably go ahead. We're talking, as for news stories, we're talking about stuff that affects the business as a whole, whether good or bad.
The business.
Yes. So, continue.
And most of these stories are good, but some of them are not.
Continue.
The runners-up are NXT receives its first 3 5-star matches from Dave Meltzer in the lead-up to WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan is cleared to wrestle. Hallelujah! CM Punk and Colt Cabana are found not guilty in defamation trial against WWE Doctor Chris Amann. Roman Reigns relinquishes WWE Universal title, announcing he has an ongoing battle with leukemia. Get well, Roman. Vince McMahon announces the XFL is returning.
Please be good.
And now, your winners again. I'm going to start this one off.
Okay.
New Japan and Ring of Honor start a show... are doing a co-branded pay-per-view called G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden, which sells out in a minute.
Dang!
And there's a kicker to this, because when we wrote this hadn't come out. WWE retreats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
ROH and New Japan got the best of WWE. This is a bright day for our futures.
Now, the reason I say retreat is because of 2 things. WWE had an NXT show that was on the exact same day that still hasn't sold out yet. at a different venue that can actually, I believe, hold less?
No, I think it's probably going to be a Barclays, because they usually have, like, unless they're moving the summer takeover out west for, like, LA, it's probably going to be held out at Barclays, Nassau Coliseum, or the Izod Center in Newark.
Yeah, it's the same day. It was going to be the day before WrestleMania, but now they've switched that at NXT takeover event with the Hall of Fame. So now there's even more reason to go see that show, because who wants to go see the Hall of Fame when you can just watch it on the network? I mean, this is really cool for New Japan and Ring of Honor, but there's a slight issue with the card now. Cody's not going to be on it.
Uh-oh.
The Bucks aren't going to be on it.
Uh-oh.
There's a possibility that Kenny Omega won't be on it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
I think there's a reason for that.
Oh, no. Oh, no?
The reason might be, and see, I can't put this on Big Story because it hasn't been announced yet, but All Elite Wrestling might be doing a show.
That'd
be nuts.
That would explain why they wouldn't be on that show, because they could still be on that show, but just not be under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now,
anyway,
the next one. Voice.
Okay, probably one of the main reasons why New Japan Ring of Honor invade Madison Square Garden, Cody Rhodes' All-In Wrestling event sells out in a half hour. Now, why is this important? This is a grassroots promotion. This is an independent scene that managed to build its reputation just on wrestling.
Being the elite.
Well, that and just wrestling in general.
It like what Cody and the Bucks did with All In is just, it's amazing. Like, it is not easy to, 1, book a show, 2, run a show, 3, run a pay-per-view show, and almost have it run over schedule. That's funny, by the way.
The last, I think, the last event had to be cut short, and yet it still received like 4.5 stars by Meltzer, which I just find hilarious.
Yes.
But even so, the fact that this is coming out of the fact that this is an independent promotion not connected to anything, and it just on name brand alone. I mean, when you think of a non-name brand wrestling event built on just who is wrestling, honestly, the first thing that comes up is the worst pay-per-view of all time, Heroes of Wrestling.
So, a good example, using a sporting reference, would be if Rob Gronkowski and a bunch of his mates made 2 separate football teams just from their the NFL friends, had a match in a massive in a fairly large stadium, and it sold out.
Yeah, this is like, it's because of this that like a lot of people took notice, and I'm fairly certain like other big promotions out there, like again, New Japan, TNA, I think even WWE took notice to this.
WWE tried to sign people who were going to be at that show to stop them being at that show. One of the people who turned that down was Rey Mysterio, and that's why it took him so long to actually actually be in WWE.
Yeah, the fact that this turned the top guys' heads on this small little promotion that got a like an arena of 10,000 in Chicago, is enough to say, yeah, this is one of the biggest stories out there. But excuse me. I think Nikki may have a big thing because this affects next year.
Fox is buying fucking SmackDown. Holy shit!
Yep.
Was I supposed to do some kind of lead into that or something?
Not
Well,
really.
I got hype.
So
But yes, Fox
there
is buying the rights to SmackDown, which that raises so many questions. The biggest of which is probably, does this mean that SmackDown is going to become the A show? Because it's on Fox. It's going to be it's going to get a huge bump in its ratings. So it might.
One of the rumors that is coming from it is SmackDown will be returning to Friday nights and it will be live.
Mhm. Yeah, that's not a rumor. That's confirmed.
Yeah, except for once every, I think once a month, where in its place will be a live NXT event.
Okay, I haven't heard that, but if that's the case, holy shit.
Because if that happens, they need to start stocking up NXT with a bunch of guys, and that means those guys are going to get more well-known because Fox. So that means WWE, if they don't will make their own system look stupid.
Right, and that also leads to another thing that's going to be changing: basically the style of SmackDown, because they've said that they want that show to be more sports instead of sports entertainment, which is part of the reason why they've been talking to Daniel Cormier, the current UFC heavyweight champion, about being a commentator. And you just know if he comes in, they're gonna want him to wrestle.
So I'm going to give you a list of people who would be better commentators and a better commentating team. And I'm going to give you a free name team that will blow your socks off.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Corey Graves.
Sure. As long as he's not talking to Renee Young, I'm happy.
Next to him is Mauro Ranallo.
Okay.
Cool.
Next to him is Joey effing Styles.
Possibly. I'm half and half on that. As long as Corey and Joey can have some good a good heel face banter, like the likes of Gorilla and Bobby Heenan. That's kind of dynamic, and have Morrow be the kind of, I'm the guy who's throwing information at you. I'm the guy who's doing big reactions.
I'm the guy who's gonna say no to that, because Joey and Morrow are both play-by-play.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with free people, there's always going to be either 2 color or 2 play-by-play. So I'd rather have 2 play-by-play, because that way you can have it look like one of them missed something.
Yeah, I guess, but I think
that's a good way to get people talking on top of each other.
Yeah, so I would actually have.
Here's the thing: they want it to be more sports orientated. So you want to have that.
And
feeling.
It sucks when sports commentators do that.
You need a right blend. Like if I want to compare it to, actual sports commentators, someone if you want a good 3-person pairing, you would want someone like the original 3 commentators for Monday Night Football. Like, you have your play-by-play, you have play-by-play, you have your stats guy, and you have the color commentator.
Right.
Like, it's something like that. Like, if not Joey Styles, have what's his face on 205?
Nigel McGuinness?
No, other guy.
Yeah. Vic Joseph?
I believe so. Yeah, he like, even though he is technically a play-by-play, he is...
Okay, I'm going to bring up the reason why we do not go with Vic Joseph. He reminds me too much of what's that terrible announcer on Raw?
Michael Cole?
Michael Cole.
Oh.
He reminds me, his voice reminds me too much of Michael Cole, and it puts me off every time.
Okay. Okay, we'll work on that for another time, but right now... Oh god, we have to get to the giant elephants of the room. Most controversial moment, biggest scandal, because... Yikes! Wrestling was not fun in 2018 if you were on the bad end. These are just the honorable mentions for most controversial, biggest scandal. Enzo Amore released on sexual assault allegations, no charges filed. Big Cass fired for multiple conduct violations. Indie wrestler Rockin' Rebel involved in murder-suicide. Dave Meltzer body shames Peyton Royce and gets blasted by social media and WWE superstars. WWE superfan Izzy, age 12, takes a chokeslam at a Florida indie show, social media flips. WWE uses real cancer diagnosis of Roman Reigns to get cheap heat for Dean Ambrose. And Angel Otomonio throws a cement block at Cuervo during a death match, almost killing him. Those were the honorable mentions.
To be fair,
I would like to point out... that's not the point here. I'd like to point out that he got a cracked skull, a brain clot, but luckily he is recovering very quickly. So
yeah, it's a bit.
It sounds like he will be returning to the ring, but that guy, fuck him, he is blacklisted everywhere.
Yeah, basically the guy almost committed attempted murder in the ring. But that is nothing compared to our winner. And that is Saudi Arabia. Just
the whole thing.
Speaking of murder.
Okay, I managed to list everything that happened. We're not gonna go into why it's wrong. We're just gonna list everything. Okay, so at the beginning of the year, WWE agrees to a contract with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to host shows for about a decade for a buttload of money. So, okay, promotion. Okay, then, for the Greatest Royal Rumble, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia wanted to see a couple of dead guys appear in the Greatest Royal Rumble. That being Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior. So, what's the workaround this? They replace them with a sumo wrestler no one's heard of, and a member of the War Raiders. Yeah. So, after that... After that, we had a couple of problems. One, women were not allowed to be at the event, / they were not allowed to actually wrestle at the event because the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was not 100% on board with the whole progressive thing. The other being Sami Zayn because he's of Syrian descent. Mm-hmm. So, during the event, a Backlash promo aired with Carmella in it, midriff and all, and a lot of people got pissed at that. So, also during that event, a bunch of Saudi propaganda aired during the, to show that again, the kingdom was improving, and yeah, that kind of backfired later, but we'll get to that. Also, Al-Qaeda threatened the show afterward.
Al-Qaeda do that to everything, though.
Yeah, but the fact that it took place in their, home country is kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Arya Davari and his brother Sean Davari, a.k.a. OG Davari, showed up at the show with Iranian flags and got death threats for that.
Oh, God. But
by the way, Davari came back and...
We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, that's weird.
After the event, because this might be one thing that Voice missed, a individual spoke out against the whole wrestling thing and got arrested.
Yep. And then we get to Crown Jewel.
And then we do it all over again.
Okay, once again, another all-men pay-per-view. And then, literally a month before the pay-per-view airs, breaking news, a Saudi journalist by the name of Jamal Khashoggi, who was a permanent resident of the U.S., is murdered in the Saudi consulate of Turkey. And there is a striking possibility that the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered the hit. This makes and what ends up happening is WWE still went through it, and despite the fact that Congress, Chris Murphy, who is the junior senator from Connecticut, where WWE is located, is basically told them, do not go through with this. This is going to be a big stain on you. Even two of their top guys, John Cena and Daniel Bryan, backed out of the Crown Jewel Best in the World tournament. So what ends up happening? WWE commentary refused to mention where they were during the whole event, and yet they still allowed Renee Young to be on commentary. And this is just a number here. If WWE were to pull out of the Crown Jewel show, they would have lost out on. They would have been out $14 million if they backed out of Crown Jewel.
Say that one more time, because you cut out.
$14 million they would have been out of. That is, yeah, I had to write that all down during my break today, because Jeebus, I do not want to touch that ever again.
Let's
we
move
will.
on to.
We are going to have to touch. We are going to have to touch that again because they have a 10-year contract.
Let's move on to I'm going to rename this award. I'm going to rename this award to the Matthew Honorary Award of Greatness,
AKA Botch of the Year.
AKA Botch of the Year.
By the way, did you hear that there's going to be a show on the WWE Network by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson where they
called Botch Club? Yes.
Botch Club. That is going to be so good.
But by the sounds of it, the first episode will be involved. Anderson himself in his $1 million Tough Enough section.
That's going to be.
So, the first runner-up, Aleister Black whiffs massively on Black Mass to Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan sells. The entire match of DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
Just the whole thing.
Brie Bella's epic fail. She can't make a suicide dive to save her life. Any time Sarah Logan tries to talk, like me, apparently.
Have you ever had gay meat?
Yes, I have.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not touching that one. All right.
I'm a trans woman. Of course I've had gay meat. It's lovely. It's delicious.
Somebody say something, please.
Okay,
The winners are Vampiro farting into an open mic at Triple Mania. Got a laugh out of me.
Yeah. To be fair,
Watch that one live.
And just so you know, this wasn't like him taking the microphone and putting it next to his butt. No, Vampiro just farted so loud that you could hear it on the live mic. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
The next winner, voice?
Titus World Slide.
World Slide?
It was really hard to not pick that one.
Oh my god, okay, if anything, if you want to watch Crown Jewel, just watch this segment. But
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yes, Greatest Royal Rumble. If you want to watch one thing for Greatest Royal Rumble, it's this segment, but you have to watch it.
Reaction.
Yes, but here's the thing. Do not watch the WWE edit of it on YouTube. watch it on the network because it comes blind. Because the way the commentary is talking about Titus has been talking to the Saudi kings and princes. And then almost like it cuts to the ring. All of a sudden, wait, what just happened? And all of a sudden, you see Titus under the ring. Wait, what the fuck just happened? And then they kept on playing the replay where he trips over the apron.
Corey Graves died. Like he was. Oh my god!
There was no corpsing that. Like I have had to corpse before where I'm just like biting my lip, trying not to laugh.
I thought corpsing was laughing when you aren't supposed to.
No, corpsing is like clearly wanting to. Yes, and then there's breaking, like just going, nope, I can't hold it anymore, and Corey just couldn't. Nope, I'm done.
No, what makes it even better is they kept on playing the replay during the match. Show it again.
You know what? That's probably the best thing Kevin Dunn has ever done. Replay again! More replays!
And the final one, Nikki.
Okay, this one's less fun. It's Brie Bella concussing Liv Morgan with yes kicks. I went on a nice little tirade about this one. So some of Brie Bella's other mishaps in the ring, like, suicide dives are hard. Like, mistakes sometimes happen in the ring. You can't avoid it all. This ain't ballet, as they say. But, dear God, how the fuck do you mess up yes kicks? Like, it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. It's a front kick. And she fucking punted Liv Morgan in the fucking head.
Twice.
And gave her a concussion that took her off of the Evolution card. Wait, did it take her off of the Evolution card?
I believe so.
Might have been, but I think if I recall, Alexa Bliss was taken out because she actually had legitimate injuries beforehand.
I'm looking it up right now. But even if she didn't, she was cleared. If she was cleared just in the nick of time. And I'm looking on here. Nope, yep. Liv Morgan did compete at Evolution, but she only got the all clear like at the last second.
I think like day of.
Right.
Oh.
So honestly, she should have probably just sat out the card, and so should have Brie Bella, because god damn it, Brie Bella.
Yep. So
just make it Nikki and Ronda versus Ruby and
Sarah Logan in a tag match. If you want the two of them at ringside, just have them at ringside being managers. Sure, that works just fine.
And thus concludes part 1. We'll see you next, because next time it's going to be, for the most part, all good stuff. So we'll catch you in the next video for part 2.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so yeah.
Yes.
Yep.